This is Automotive Battleship. Behind me are 4 different cars and 2 drift carts that are going to be strategically placed by each player as they chuck water balloons over the wall behind me, trying to knock each other out of the game. You have 5 minutes starting now to organize your cars. Best of luck.
I feel like this is a legit battleship setup.
You don't even know what's coming for him.
Let's see if it works.
Now, while they go and organize their cars, let me explain the rules.
The game is broken down into 3 rounds that will progressively get more difficult as the game goes on. Each round will contain 8 throws from each player, and as the rounds progress, you will be given a challenge that will make your chances of survival decrease. On top of that, each vehicle will have between 3 and 1 lives, which determines the amount of times a vehicle can get hit before it's eliminated off your side. And lastly, this is a tournament of 4, so if you win your game, you get moved on to the championship round where you can win the grand prize. Now that you understand the rules, let's begin.
So there is one thing I might have left out of the voiceover. As Dave is not playing in this round, he is helping Chris move his dumpster around. Because if you hit a dumpster, you lose a balloon for that round, which is crucial knowing that you only get 8 tosses per round.
Determining who goes first will be decided by a coin toss, right side being heads, left side being tails.
Siri, heads or tails? It's tails. Brian, you will throw first.
With Brian having the first throw, it opens a door of opportunity to start off strong. But he missed his mark by sending his balloon out of the playing field. Now Chris has his first opportunity to send one back. Now with round 1 underway, neither competitor could seem to land their mark, but we did have a few close calls. But ultimately nobody was able to hit anything. Which brings us to round 2. Round 2 provides each player with 2 death balloons, which if they make contact with any vehicle, it is instantly out of the game, which leaves some room open for some strategy here. Now with both players having near misses off the start of the round, Brian could almost sense that he was getting close.
I know it's right there. I know it's there.
So he takes an attempt at the left side of the field and nails the first car, which allows Brian to secure another hit by knowing the location of the car. Now that puts the pressure on Chris, who decided to call in his death balloon.
Let's go! Hey, that's crazy. I knew they were further away.
Now with the first Mustang out of the field, it was time for Brian to knock the other one out of the game.
I think I got him, no. Coming back, coming clutch.
Now with the score being even, both players use the remainder of their throws, trying to find where the other vehicles may be laid out at. But unfortunately, nobody was able to hit anything else. Which brings us to our 3rd and final round, where the specialty challenge is each player gets to look at a photo of their opponent's side for approximately 5 seconds. Now with that knowledge in the back of their minds, Brian got the first throw, and he ultimately ended up missing his shot.
He's consistent. He's consistently hitting that spot.
With Chris shortly returning the favor. Although there was a lot of close calls this round, nobody seemed to land anything, leading us to sudden death, where in this round the players will switch sides, and the first person to get a hit gets moved on to the championship game.
Dang, I was so close.
With Brian missing his first throw, it leaves the door wide open for Chris to move on to the championship game.
Golden goal, remember. If you hit the opponent 1 time, you win. And just like that, Chris moves on to the championship round. Now it's up to AJ and Dave to find out who will face Chris in the championship game.
Oh, I'm ready. Hopefully he'll hit this dumpster a few times.
Now the specialty balloons this time are going to be different than the last game, so stay tuned to see some of those.
Once the competitors had their side set up, AJ had the first throw after winning the coin toss, and just misses Dave. Now Dave has the opportunity to fire right back. Now with round 1 underway, both competitors spent the remainder of the round trying to get a feel for where things might be, but ultimately had no luck, which led us right to round 2. Where in this round, each player gets 2 specialty balloons, where if they make contact with their opponent's vehicle, the opponent has to start their loudest car to make it easier to identify the location. And just as you'd expect, AJ immediately wants to start off with a specialty balloon.
I want that balloon. Activate. Yeah, I get 2 balloons, right? I want to start with one of those.
And makes direct contact, putting the pressure right on Dave, who also requested his specialty balloon. Now with both players having a hit on a vehicle, they both secure another hit, which knocks out the Fox body for Dave. And AJ shortly returns the favor on the other Mustang, giving AJ the lead.
That's me, baby. 3-2.
Right after that, both players had several throws but ultimately never hit anything, leading us right to round 3.
All right, that is the end of round 2. Now we move on to round 3, which each player is required to stand in the center of their square. If they are hit, they automatically lose their largest vehicle. Best of luck.
Round 3 had a slow start with both players having several misses, but eventually Dave locked onto the red Mustang, which allowed him to make quick work and knock it out, giving AJ a short window to hit the drift vet, but unfortunately he couldn't reach it, giving Dave the win, pushing him to the championship game against Chris.
And we're back with the championship final, Dave versus Chris in the final round, winner takes all, with a little bit of a twist on this one.
It's a different strategy than the last time. Don't want to tell you a whole lot, you'll have to wait and see.
I'm honestly reconsidering, but trying to keep them as close as possible because it's harder to go just barely over the trailer.
He said you're going down.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down the street to claim my prize.
Just like last time, a coin toss is going to decide who goes first. Right side's going to be heads, left side's going to be tails, and Siri will decide. Flip a coin. It's heads. Remember, gentlemen, just like last time, you have 8 tosses per round, and there's 3 rounds total. Best of luck.
Now with Chris having the first throw, he fires his first shot to the right side of the field, which unfortunately didn't work. And Dave shortly follows up with a miss as well. Both competitors had a slow start in round 1, with Chris even losing a balloon after making contact with the dumpster. But as per usual, both players used this round to get a feel for their opponent's side, which ultimately ended with no hits, leading us right to round 2.
For round 2, we're throwing in a little bit of a different twist. You are given 2 yellow balloons. If you make contact with your opponent's vehicle with any of those balloons, you get an extra teammate for the next throw.
Now with Chris starting us off again, he attempts to gain a teammate for his next throw, but unfortunately misses. This is an extremely important strategy because gaining a teammate will give you an immense competitive advantage, as whoever joins your team will know the general area of where to throw. Now with Dave back up to bat, he decides to hold off on using his specialty balloon and just gets a general feel of where things may be laid out at. But both players kept firing shots blindly until Dave made contact with the drift vet, leading Chris to follow up with hitting the fox body to end the round.
And just like that, we move on to round 3, which this one I think is probably the most interesting round we had yet, because you get to choose between any of the 3 balloons we've used so far in this video. So, best of luck.
With round 3 having a slow start, Dave began to strategize and plan his first power-up by choosing the yellow balloon, which allows you to gain a teammate, which, knowing the general location of the drift vet, he was able to knock the car out of the game, and still had the opportunity to choose another balloon.
Now that the vet is out of the game, Dave did hit it with a yellow balloon, meaning that I can go over there and assist him on his next throw. All right, which balloon do you want?
Do the death balloon.
Okay, let's do it.
Wherever you're throwing from,
Okay.
stick to the close right side of the trailer.
With the death balloon in his hand, he gets ready to lob a shot that can completely change the game in his favor. And Chris, well, I don't really know what he's doing here. With the Mustang and Corvette out of the game for Dave, Chris decided to call in his noise balloon and nails the fox body, taking it out of the game. While Dave hunts down the drift carts, Chris came up with a life-saving strategy that could tie this game up with a death balloon and send us right into overtime.
All right, he's got a strategy.
I'm telling you, all the shots were lucky.
And he throws his last shot.
I'm the winner, right? Yes! Man, I feel good. I did have a little inkling that the younger generation was going to get me, and I came through.
It's a valiant effort.
Dang, dude, there was no way I was going to get that little thing.
Huge congratulations on your
Woo!
You got a trophy.
Dang, dude, is that real gold?
Hang it.
But thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Huge shout out to Shift Culture for letting us film here today. I have them linked at the top of my description. I highly recommend you guys go check them out. But anyways, guys, I love you all so much, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.